It was one. Okay, so you can see my screen. Just want to make sure I can't see anything else. Okay, so I don't know, let me begin. But you can see everything. I just want to make sure because I can't tell with Zoom. Sometimes it's saying that no one can hear my microphone or something. But you can hear me. Okay. All right. So basically, like you said, today I'm here to explain. Someone, let's see right here. Oh, everyone said they can see in here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So basically, what I'm here for is to talk about social media and what finding your filter. In other words, I have what is your filter? And when I think about filters, we use them from day to day. We use them on a regular basis for most of us. And it's something that comes to mind when I think like, okay, is it a day that I don't use it? So before I go into that, I like to share a bit about myself. And my name is Lawrence Dates. I'm a computer specialist at Northeast Wisconsin Technical College, other words, known as NWTC. What does that mean? I work in IIT, short for IT. I've been in the IT field for several years now, and I really enjoy what I do. For me to get into that field, it all started with me, my love of smartphones, and I've enjoyed smartphones. Back when I fell in love with smartphones, they were called pocket PCs, pocket personal computers, but they did not work like a computer at all. So my drive that I had there for me I wanted to just be able to make my phone work as a computer. At that time, phones were running Windows CE. That's a version of Windows XP or Windows 94, but it's a scaled down version of it. And I kept trying to get my phone to work as if it was a computer. Eventually I succeeded, which led me my curiosity down the path of seeing how computers work. Then once I found out how computers worked, I've noticed the similarities, which led to me becoming who I am today in IT. And also I'm a crazy, like, I want to say not crazy, but passionate phone nerd. So that leads me to like, how many of you guys like computers? How many of you like smartphones? Let's see. How many of you have smartphones? That's something that I wanted to ask and get to know. I think a majority of us do. And when we do have smartphones, not majority of us use social media accounts. The thing I think about is how many social media accounts do you have? Do one person have? If you often use social media, how many people you think are on social media at one given day? As of April 2020, a total of 3.1 billion people around the world use social media, putting the worldwide social media penetration rate at 49%, according to Sprout Social. If you think about that in terms of United States, we have roughly almost 349 million people, but think 3.8 billion people. In 2019, so how many people are using it? In 2019, the average social media user spent an average of 1 hour and 15 minutes per day on social media. And this average was projected to increase by 8.8%. And we think about social media and its growing popularity and how fast it's growing. And the fastest site out there is TikTok. TikTok saw over the pandemic a 97.5% increase in its US user base. Mind you, TikTok is an Asian is an Asian social platform. But granted, these numbers will decline as the hype dies down for these projections, but it's still projected to grow in double digits in the upcoming years. And that makes me wonder, like, how many of it, if that sounds to me that almost everyone has TikTok. I have TikTok, but you know, I think a few adults has it, but not just younger users. And it's just, you know, TikTok is a way for us to socialize. So that brings you to the other thing that I think about when it comes to social media is how many are out there? If it's that many people using social media, what is out there? And here's a look at the social media giants out there. As you can see on the chart, the blue side is the United States. The red is Asia, and the green is the Middle East. And if you look at these sections, these certain different platforms, some of these, most people didn't even realize when I asked a few people about being social media, like YouTube. Who would think that YouTube was a form of social media? And I'm quite sure the majority of us has went on YouTube. But social media is anything that we can be social on and communicate with others, because we can message content creators and we can get feedback from them as well as give feedback, and we can go back and forth. Metaverse, as you see on the chart, is one of those, is formerly known as Facebook, has a huge slice of that pie with WhatsApp, Instagram, Messenger, and also Facebook. And as of December 21, remember that number I said was 1 hour and 15 minutes? As of December, that number changed to 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours on social media each day. That is a lot of time spent on social media. Given the social media aspect of myself, as I'm being transparent too, because I have 14 social media accounts with me being a techie. Looking at that list we just seen, as you can see on the list in front of you, social media for me brings me great joy, and I can stay connected to my friends as well as my family. With me being a computer specialist, and most of my accounts are locked, which is something that's some people don't do. Somehow things still can get out there, so I'm still not 100% protected. Even though in the techie world, we call that scrubbed our accounts. It's just still stuff that can be out there, because once it's out there, it doesn't go away. So that leads me to ask you two questions. What information about me is online for people to find? And do I want them to find it? And right here, this next video, I'll give you an idea about social media and those two questions.
So this entire experiment rests on the idea that people post a lot of information online without really thinking about what that means, especially teens. So I want to put it right in their faces. This is how much I can find out about you in just 6 clicks. And I want them to ask, how much am I really comfortable sharing online? We'll see. I'm always online, so it wouldn't be this big shocker to find any dirt on me. It's nothing too bad, I'm sure.
See this phone? It is always with me, and I'm always online. Oh, it's my boyfriend. Can I get this?
Yeah, I use the internet just as much as anybody else. I got nothing to hide.
Oh yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, I'm there. I post everything online, everything.
Look, I don't have time to be online.
I have track, homework, family game night, dance, and with all of that going on, you want me to tweet about what I have for dinner?
Yeah.
One moment, there's sound. You said you cannot hear the sound. Let me see if I can get the sound back.
I don't even. Remember that.
So in addition to your favorite childhood toy, I also know your favorite books, movies, TV shows. Nothing too serious until, you might not be happy to hear this, but your mom has decided not to get you those 5-inch stilettos you wanted.
But I have to have those. Wait, I didn't write about that.
No, you didn't, but your mom did. And the email address she has linked to her Facebook account is the same one she uses for her mommy blog.
Her what?
Oh yeah, she has a great mommy blog, very popular. There was this hysterical entry a couple weeks ago about your dandruff.
Oh.
Anyway, she was writing about the shoes. She's decided they're just too old for you.
What was that? I mean, I know what I post online, and I'm fine with it. Ponies? Yeah, big deal. But when my mother blogs about me, that is not okay.
Next up, Nick. So should I call you Captain Chicken Vomit?
Ew.
What's wrong with that? That is you, right? Captain Chicken Vomit is one of your gamer tags?
Yeah, I thought you were only using Facebook. How did you even find that?
Oh, I said I had 6 clicks. I didn't say all 6 had to be on Facebook. But this was easy to find. All I did was Google your email address. What was a little harder to find was this. You use that same gamer tag as your profile on this music site. And it looks like your favorite playlist includes songs from 90s boy bands.
Dude, that's not cool.
Your personal favorite appears to be Feeling You. You played it a total of 76 times.
That was for this girl. Oh,
Mhm.
she hangs
Does
out
she
sometimes.
exist?
That wasn't for me. I didn't listen to that. Look, I don't listen to cheesy boy bands, okay? I don't. He found a few accounts online. It's no big deal. Those weren't my playlists.
So, Will, you were a bit of a challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is it. You don't seem to spend much time online.
Get some friends, man.
I couldn't find any trace of you on Instagram or Twitter, anything really.
Dude, you don't exist.
It's called having a life. He found exactly what I thought he'd find. Absolutely nothing. And that's how I like it.
My turn. So, what'd you find out?
Well, you are quite the open book. It's like your entire life is documented online, and it wasn't hard to find all of your accounts. Here we see some of your many sketches, and this album, I found a picture of everything you ate last month.
Yeah, I was experimenting with food blog.
Here we have a list of every single place you checked into just in the last week, but I've got a list going back to last year.
Yep, I always check in.
Speaking of which, 8 months ago, you tried a goat's milk smoothie with your friend Nikki. She loved it, but you said it made you, and I quote, BFFs with my toilet for over an hour.
Ew. Yeah, some people think I overshare.
That's me. I don't do anything I'm ashamed of, so why would I care if people know?
Logan, you, sir, are cheating on your girlfriend.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Where did you hear that lie from?
Oh, I'm certain it's not a lie. I have ample evidence to prove that you are, in fact, cheating on your girlfriend with her best friend.
Oh, that's wrong.
What evidence is that?
I noticed a cryptic post on your wall where she called you Double O. So I ran a search and found a Twitter account for Double O that you were using to share secret messages.
You're such a jerk.
Yeah, seriously, Logan.
And it's definitely your account because the profile picture matches the one from your Facebook. You should really consider changing your pictures more often.
Oh, my girlfriend's gonna kill me.
Which one?
How did that just happen? I had everything under control, separate accounts, different usernames. Are we done here?
Well, that was interesting. Very, very interesting. I think I surprised some people. Probably not some others. Either way, I think they're all leaving here today with two questions. What information about me is online for people to find? And do I want them to find it? Maybe it's time for you to start asking yourself these questions.
So from the video, I would ask you all, it's pretty interesting, right? It's just like those two questions right there, the two questions. What information about me is online for people to find? And do I want them to find it? That's the two things you have to ask yourself when you're out on social media. As you can see from the video, it took the moderator, the host, 6 clicks for him to find all that stuff out about the students. He found out things about people's parents. He found out some guy was having a different girlfriend. It's just so many things you can find in this. That was just 6 clicks. So imagine if he had double, 12, 20 clicks, 30. It's like, but the question I ask you guys out there is, how many of you are like the student that had no social media account or just barely used the social media account and the host and moderator could not find anything about him? The reason, what was his reasoning? What was the student reasoning for not being on social media? Excuse me. He said he had a lot going on and he's in sports, he's doing other things, he's being active. He has a very active lifestyle where he's not on social media. Not everyone can be that, can have that kind of self-control as that guy does. But, you know, we all strive to try to have some kind of self-control, and everything is great in moderation. But just think about it. The guy, the host, had 6 clicks. He couldn't find anything on that guy, but he found a ton of stuff on other people. It just leads to how dangerous things could be. So it's like if your social media information is in the wrong hands, you can be in danger of a friend in the wrong person that lead to some kind of dangerous event that or leading you away to never be seen again. Another could be that a future employer could see questionable behavior you displayed on one of your posts or several posts. And employers do look at social media. And I'm quite sure that you are all looking for work somewhere soon or looking to have a job in the near future or getting even into a career. But things we put out there on social media does not go away. So the things we keep in mind, the man had 6 clicks, just 6. And he was able to find out so many things about each individual student. But those are the things that I mentioned here are external dangers. Like what else can happen just from using social media? I call it FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out. The fear of missing out. This fear is directly linked to social media. And in the next video I have, it'll give you an idea. Because a lot of times when we look at social media, we're scrolling, we checking out friends, we checking out whatever post is out there. And sometimes it's just like, it becomes natural that we don't even, it becomes natural and we just don't even realize how natural it becomes. So in the next video, it talks about the internal dangers of social media.
Place. Human bonding.
So thanks to the incredible technological advancements made by these guys and many others, we have somehow been able to fit the standard amenities of modern life onto a 5.5-inch square of lights and circuits. Most of these things are necessary to the average functioning modern person. But what about social interaction? We as humans are social animals and thrive on the idea of sharing and being valued by others. Have we managed to fit that feeling and that need onto this 5.5-inch screen?
This is a great connecting device. It is also a great disconnecting device.
So what is it doing to us? Currently, the three most commonly experienced effects are the fear of missing out, or FOMO, anxiety, and the impact it has on real-life interaction skills.
My name is Michael Quinlan, Dr. Michael Quinlan. I'm a clinical psychologist. I currently work at a private school. As patients have told me and students have told me, one of the more difficult and troubling things about it is I would say the FOMO would probably be the biggest thing that I think about.
FOMO, the fear of missing out.
I'm Billy. I'm 14. My life revolves around social media. I think fear of missing out. Never mind. You go.
Okay. I'm Christian. I'm 16, and I think I experience fear of missing out whenever I scroll through my Instagram feed.
I personally experience FOMO the most on Snapchat.
Snapchat.
Because
Everyone can agree with that.
on Instagram, people are posting the best photos. You don't really care. But on Snapchat, it's constantly 24/7. You're being bombarded with photos, and it's just what's happening in their lives, more or less. So I wrote an article in our school newspaper on FOMO, and I discussed its negative implications for the human brain, and especially on adolescent teens and stuff, and how it can cause depression and social anxiety and stuff like that.
Something is going on that they're not a part of because their focus is there. It's going to make them feel, for a lot of kids, it makes them feel stressed. I'm Chris Barrett. I'm the BPS Chartered Counseling Psychologist. I'm also co-founder of a company called Yourself Series. And so Yourself Series is a teen identity development program. Especially during adolescence, they're so focused on what's going on in their social world with other people in terms of its fear of missing out. They're feeling it's painful to be left out. Hence why if we're feeling that pain in the brain, it's, in the same place as physical pain, we want to avoid, we're wired to avoid that.
With people posting, every aspect of their life, we as human beings, we all want to be invited to everything. Whether we really want to go or not is another story. I think kids get anxious and some get even mildly depressed because they're not involved in that.
Yeah, I think Snapchat really goes hand in hand with the high school experience in general, with everyone trying to show validate themselves, show that they're socially not socially inept. And that
I totally agree that Snapchat is the biggest source of fear of missing out, and I actually was super against Snapchat for a really long time because of that.
I don't really want to see you and your friends hanging out doing nothing.
Let's say a big group of your friends, they all go out to a restaurant and they all get delicious looking meals, and you're sitting at home and you're just looking at the pictures of the meals and you're wondering, how you would feel if you were there eating with them.
My name is Amanda Fisk. I'm a 35-year-old social media coordinator, and I'm also a graphic designer and photographer. As a 35-year-old who's unmarried and doesn't have kids, I experience FOMO by looking at Facebook. When you log on to Facebook and within a week, there are 5 new babies born in your social circle, you start to question yourself. And it's unfortunate because it actually takes a minute to realize that this doesn't mean I'm in the wrong place, and this doesn't mean that I should be doing something different.
Facebook is showing the best of what you have. Snapchat is so raw. I'm Caitlin, I'm 16, and I think social media has taken over my dance career. I mostly get FOMO or fear of missing out when parties or like house parties or get-togethers, whatever anybody wants to call them, like you find out 5 minutes before, then everybody rushes, but if you're not able to get there, you miss out on whatever is going on. So people Snapchat story that, and it's kind of annoying because I'm like, why? Like it's just so weird.
Well, I feel like that whole fear of missing out thing has always been a part of like the high school experience of you don't want to waste these best years of your life.
I feel like, well, FOMO doesn't really affect me that much, but I know for me, like if I'm out with friends, I always try to like be cautious and because some people could have their feelings hurt by that.
As you go towards middle school, issues like bullying become a lot bigger. FOMO becomes huge because they see friends hanging out with other friends. They feel left out. They feel ignored.
Belongingness and affiliation is such a part of our lives that when we're not, and we see other people doing things, it leaves us with a sort of empty feeling.
To people that use it just like to put up stupid pictures and money and stuff like that, and to make it and want attention and want other people to look at them and say, oh wow, he's living a crazy lifestyle. All those people, you know, they're pointless in my eyes. Like it's all.
To some, FOMO is as simple as realizing that, well, the grass is always greener on the other side. But to others, the constant comparison and necessity to keep up with likes and a certain lifestyle online can cause serious anxiety.
Anxiety, in my mind, is a warning sign that something's not quite right. So generally, I think that the bombardment of material on the internet sometimes leaves individuals with very little time to actually decompress, relax, and I think that by itself creates a higher level of anxiety.
Hello, I'm Richard. I'm 11, and social media isn't a part of my life at all. I don't need one, but like everyone else is like, oh yeah, I got it. And I'm like, I don't.
Own it, yeah.
I follow other things like music that doesn't involve social media, but the people that do follow social media, they kind of like get obsessed, and if they don't get like those 10 likes on that video of when they went to that NBA game, you know, they get paranoid, and I've seen that happen a lot. Like if it doesn't get at least 60 likes on Instagram, I'm like, nope.
I think that's a real thing, like anxiety. I think it's something that people haven't really had to deal with before. And it's just kind of weird that, like, I mean, everyone's, you know, putting on a performance in life.
Place. Human.
So with that being said, that video is pretty shocking, how it links FOMO, fear of missing out, to social media. Do any of you out there experience FOMO with your social media accounts? I know you can't really say anything, but by a show of hands. All right, so if you do experience FOMO, or if you have anxiety or any issues with social media, I encourage you all to seek out your parents, your grandparents, legal guardians, a counselor, but find an adult you can trust. I didn't put friends on there or peers, because we all already know that that's the first person you usually seek out, majority of us when we're teenagers, or just period. I just feel that with FOMO out there and social media, you just have to continue to ask yourself those questions, those two questions. I mean, is what I'm putting out here easy for someone to find, and do I want them to find it? Now, I have a quick recap on what we just seen with Kahoot, but I don't know if anybody got phones out there to try to see if they can go for Kahoot. Am I okay with Kahoot right now? Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Let's see if I can bring it out. Can you see the screen? Let's see if I can bring it in. Can you see the Kahoot screen?
Yes.
All right, awesome. So I'll give you guys time. I'll give everyone time to see if they can connect. All right, I give about another 10 seconds and then we can get started. All right, so here we go, 5 seconds. All right, I'm gonna get started with the first round of Kahoot. I see a few more people joining in, so I'll wait. It had paused on my side. I can thank you all for participating. Okay, we got jellyfish at number 1. Hold up. Who picked Tweeter? I thought it was Tweeter too. Okay, 43, and we had 2 that said false. Interesting. I wish I could talk to the 2 that said false. I'm just curious. I like hearing feedback. Okay. Let's see what we got next here. Oh, Sammy took the lead. I was told to zoom out so you guys can see the whole screen. Let me see if I can make some changes here. One moment, let me get the screen correct for some people. Remember, 6 clicks was all that got needed for him to find all that information about someone. That's pretty spooky when you think about it. 6 clicks. Okay, Snapchat. Reddit. I wonder how many of you guys got Reddit accounts out there. Okay, let's see. Carrie fell down and Green Bean Jeremy. It's number one. True or false? Anyone that has your social media account info can access info on your family. 36 said yes, 8 said false. Well, remember the 6 clicks on that question that the guy found out about the young lady mother. And I'm quite sure if you do a Google search on yourself, you'd be surprised. What? Somebody said true? Okay. It's safe to friend anyone. Remember, the people that we give access to social media to can see our friends and see family. So friending anyone, you may have to think about that one. All right, Green Bean, Jeremy, Sammy, and Carrie. 4 more questions left. Okay, let's see. Messenger. Oh, we have AJ, Sammy, and Green Bean Jeremy. Next question. Which network uses this icon? Okay. YouTube. How many of us use YouTube? I think we all do. Okay, we still have the same 3, Green Bean, Jeremy, Sammy, and AJ. 2 more questions left. Double points. What is FOMO? Okay, fear of missing out. Fear of missing out. Remember that. Let's see. All right, Green Bean, Jeremy, Sammy, and AJ. Question 14 for double points. Which icon is which network is identified by this icon? TikTok. I can see by its popularity, as we said, it raised 97%, and I see everyone knew that. Okay. So, we got Sammy in the lead, AJ, and V4MPZZ. Double points. Last question, multi-select. For double points, let's see who will get in there. 2 questions you want to ask yourself about using social media. What information about me is online for people to find, and do I want people to find information about me? Those are 2 questions that I want to leave you guys with. Those are 2 questions, and the winner is, as we see here, here we go, Sammy. And runners up, Hamza, Carey, V4MPZZ, and Jellyfish. So on that note, everyone, ask yourself those questions and continue to ask yourself those questions, those 2 questions about social media. What are people finding out about me online, and do I want them to find it? It's important. Social media can be great, but it also could be dangerous. Now, that's one thing I want you to ask you all to take home with you today. If you don't take anything, just be careful, because remember, in 6 clicks, someone can find out your whole life and what you post. So thank you. I appreciate you all. My name is Lawrence Dates, and once again, I work for NWTC as a computer support technician specialist. Sorry, it's still early, but I just want to thank you all, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Lawrence, for being with us today. If you guys can give some snaps or some shout outs to Lawrence for being here, that would be helpful. Unmute yourselves and give a shout out to him, please.
Wait, what's his name? Wait, what do we say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you.
My pleasure. It was a pleasure. Thank you all for participating.
Awesome. So, yes, we have nine schools represented right now. So we can do some shout outs. When I call your school name, then I want you to unmute and give just give a hooray, give a good morning, give something that lets us know that you are excited and engaged. So let's do Red Smith. Red Smith, are you here? All right, say shout out. Good morning. Good morning. With your words, not so much your hands, with your words. Say good morning. Good morning. All right. Let's do Franklin. Franklin, unmute. Say good morning. All right. Let's go, Jadal. Let's see in Jadal right now. What about Aldo? There we go. There you go. There you go. What about Lombardi?
All right, make some noise.
Fantastic. What about Washington? Awesome. Edison.
Come on.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Did I miss anybody? I don't think so. We had a couple of more schools.
Ingrid, can you hear us now?
Huh?
Can you hear Franklin now?
I can hear Franklin now. Franklin,
All right,
go ahead.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. Good job, guys. Thank you so much, Lawrence, again for being here. And we're excited to use the information that you have given. And we're hoping that our students got something out of it because social media is definitely the way of life for them. So thank you. All right, we have, it is 8:55. So I just want to, I think Jermaine is on the call. We'll start him. All right, hi Jermaine.
I am. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. How's everyone doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna give you access to the
share screen.
Yep, give me a moment. All right, we can, if individual groups can kind of, while we do some technology pieces, can you guys just talk about what the session, what you got out of the session, this last session? I think it's important for our kids to know that information does not go away. And so what we're trying to do today is trying to give them the knowledge that they need in order to move forward as they move forward in their school career and their professional career. So if you guys can take a moment to maybe about 3 minutes to just talk amongst your groups, that would be great. Thank you.
Right.
Perfect. Perfect. So is your last name pronounced Roll?
Yes, just roll.
Okay, and the E is silent. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I feel like people like that.
We'll start in about 3 minutes, okay?
So
You're able to see my screen, right? Because I can't, on my end, it just looks like.
Yes, I see your screen.
Give me that. I saw you put the other one in the
Okay. Let's come back. Let's come back. All right, we're gonna get started with our next session. I appreciate you all. The next session will be conducted by Jermaine Roll, who is Deputy Director of Athletics at UWGB. And we're gonna do, he's gonna do a session called How to Be Your Best Self on and Off the Court. Now, the court could be a physical court, or it could actually be a metaphysical court. So I'm gonna turn it over to Jermaine. Jermaine, I appreciate you being here and taking the time out for our students today. And so we're looking forward to your knowledge.
Well, thank you, Ms. Parker. I'm excited to be here with you all. I'm excited to see everyone from the various schools represented. And it's an honor and pleasure to be able to speak with you all this morning. As Mrs. Parker said, how to be your best self on and off the court. It's, you know, it doesn't have to be the basketball court. It could be any type of court, right? It could be the performance stage. It could be anything that you're doing. It could be your classroom. But how to be your best self within and outside of those realms is what we're going to touch on today. I hope you find this presentation enlightening and thought-provoking. And then also, you know, I'm going to ask you to move around a little bit. So it's not necessarily just you listening to me and whatnot. We're going to do some pretty fun things here shortly. And I hope you'll enjoy it. So let's get going. As I said, we'll explore the following areas. What does it take to be your best self at the baseline? What about being your best self on the court, best self off the court? We're going to tie it all together. And then think about at the end how we can apply our best selves to our lives. So we ready? We all know who this person is, right? Let's go, okay? Where does your best self begin? Okay, and I don't know how quickly we can get some people unmuted, but I really want some responses here. Think about where does your best self begin? We have in this picture, you see a bunch of society norms, expectations that other people put on us and whatnot. We have things like doubt that can creep in, but really think about where does being your best self begin? So this is my first question to you all. Like I said, this is going to be really interactive. What are some of the professions that you want to do? Let me just hear like 2 or 3 people say, hey, I want to be X, Y, Z.
I want to be a football player. I want to be a famous basketball player.
Okay, so thank you for those. I got football, I got basketball.
I want to be soccer player.
Okay, so we got a lot of athletics in there. You know, I think I heard someone say they want to be a mechanic too, which is awesome as well. So there's a lot of athletics. And so this presentation is right on topic, right? So we have a lot of athletic professions, and then there might be some of you that might want to do different things outside of athletics, and that's perfectly fine as well. The importance of being your best self begins with your self-belief. Your biggest cheerleader is yourself, no one else. Not your parents, not your guardians, not your friends. Sometimes they're good to have, but the person that you need to really dig in with and really have at your back is yourself. You need to believe those things if you're going to achieve all those professions that I heard shouted out just then. Okay. Also, it's important in terms of developing your self-belief. It's important that you're thinking and speaking positively about yourself. I'm a really big believer in that what's in our minds becomes how we feel and think about ourselves, and also how we go about projecting ourselves with our friends and how we act and whatnot. So it's important to think and speak positively. So I told you we were going to get moving. I see you all sitting down there, but I need you to get in pairs. Okay, I need you to get in pairs real quick. I'm going to do a quick activity, and I hope this works. So if you can find a partner, Okay, I'm gonna step back from my screen, and I want you to stand with your partner like this, and I want you to face each other. Make a T with your fist, okay? I see everyone doing it. You can do it sitting down as well if we have people who maybe in wheelchairs or have a broken ankle or something, you can do this sitting down as well. So you have your pairs. I want your arms straight out to the side, the strongest it can be. Okay. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to think of a really, really positive thought. Like, think of the happiest you've ever been. Think of yourself as being the strongest you've ever been. Okay. And your other partner, one of you is going to try to push the other arms down. Keep that thought in your head. Be strong. No, keep that thought in your head. Be strong. Think that you're the strongest person right now in the world. You're the happiest you've ever been. Think of a really happy thought. Okay? Are those arms moving down? It's pretty hard to do so, right? Okay. Let's get back to our T position, right? Let's get back to this position. I want you now on the opposite end to think of a really negative thought. Think of the saddest times that you've had, something that's happened to you. And then that person that's pushing your arms down, not hard, just gently try to push it down. Is it easier to get those arms down? I want you to think of how your body feels while doing this exercise. How did you feel when you were thinking positively and thinking that you were strong? And then how did you feel when you were thinking of something that's sad or something that hurt you? Once you're done with that, you can switch partners and you can try it on them. First, think of a happy thought, the strongest you've ever been. Then you think of a thought that's really probably not so good, and see how easy it is to get your arms down. Okay. I see some of us are doing it. I'm looking on the side screen here. I see some of us are doing it and having a decent time with it. All right, I'm gonna ask you to unmute as well and just give me some feedback on that. Tell me what was going on, and then let's do it like this. I saw a lot of action from Miss Colleen Hutchinson Wardlow's group. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know the school that's at. I want to hear from them. Tell me what's going on. What happened when you had the strong thought in your head? Huh? Oh, you guys were just up. I saw who's Miss Hutchinson Wardlow's class?
I'll go.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, got it now.
Okay.
All right, so gentlemen, tell me what happened when you had that strong thought in your head.
It hurt my arms.
It hurt your arms? What about the person pushing your arms down? Did your arms move
Yes.
easily? Really? All right. What happened during the negative thought?
My arms went straight down.
It was easier to put your arms down, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. A lot easier than when you had the happy thought, right? The strong positive thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thank you all for participating and giving your feedback on that. You know, that's one of those exercises that, you know, it's just a fun exercise that highlights what I was saying about the importance of thinking and speaking positively about yourself. What's in your mind connects with your body, and what's in your mind feeds itself through the body. And you can feel that. So if you want to be your best self, you have to think and speak positively about yourself. You have to make sure that your thoughts are always positive and that you're speaking positively about yourself, so that if you're in the class and let's say you did not do well on a test, you don't want to say to yourself, you know, hey, I'm a dummy, or I'm not smart enough, because yes, you're talking to yourself. Your body's gonna remember that, and that's gonna stick with you. But you need to say, hey, next time I'll study harder, or next time I'll think differently about this question, because that's a positive approach. You want to give yourself the best chance to be successful, and it starts with how you think and speak about yourself. So thank you for your participation in that activity. Let's continue on. So laying the foundation. If your mind foundation strong, and I just spoke with this, there are very few things that can keep you from fulfilling goals and dreams, because really you've created your own shield against the negativity, against the doubt, against the societal expectations, the norms that people are going to put you in. It's important that you speak positively to yourself so you can protect what's known as your mental health. Protect your mind, your body will respond. And I'm a big believer in that. So you're being your best self begins with your mindset. Okay. I know on this next slide, we know some of these people. You said you wanted to be like them. Okay. We have Giannis from the Milwaukee Bucks, Devontae Adams, and we have Lorenzo from the Brewers. These are some of the people who may look like you, or who you aspire to be. So being your best self on the court, these are some of the things that it takes. It takes your drive, motivation. Like, what is it why do you want to be a basketball player? Is it for the glitz and glam? Is it for being famous? I heard someone say they want to be a famous football player. Someone said they want to be a baseball player. Is it because you know, you like the money that comes with it? Because yeah, they're all making a lot more money, right? But that only sustains you up to a certain amount. All of these athletes will tell you being a professional athlete takes a lot of commitment, dedication, and we'll touch on this in some of the other points, but it takes a lot of commitment and dedication. So your drive, what motivates you, and your goals is so important. Why do you want to be a basketball player? Is it because you just really love the sport? Or a football player, is you really love the sport? Those are some of the things. Are you playing that sport to help you advance further later in life? Maybe start some businesses, maybe help your family out, help them get on a different path. So think about the drive and motivation about what it is that you want to be, or why you're doing what you're doing to be your best self on the court. I mentioned this earlier, practice and sacrifice is the other thing. And in addition to practicing and being sacrificing, a lot of sacrifice, and sometimes you might miss parties with your friends, or you might not be able to hang out because you're at training, because it's so important to be focused and stay present in terms of being your best on the court. And like I said, we talk about sports, but we're also talking about it in the classroom. Sometimes I remember when I was where you guys were, I was sitting in the classroom and your mind wanders, right? You just go daydreaming, as people used to say. You just daydream about different things. But it's so important to stay present, because while you're daydreaming or your mind's wandering elsewhere, you might have missed something that the teacher said that you needed to know for the test. You know, the same thing that can be applied to sports. Those that want to be professional athletes, the same thing applies to sports. If you're not 100% focused and stay present within that game or whatever it is that you're playing, then your mind can go and you might miss a play, you might miss a pass or whatnot. So staying focused and staying present is important. Also, the concept of competing against yourself is important. You know, yeah, Giannis and Devontae, they play on teams. Along with Lorenzo, they play on teams. But really, to improve, your biggest competition is yourself. You know, from my end, I grew up playing soccer, and I was fortunate enough to be sort of decent at it to where I played in college. and I also represented the Bahamas national team. And I remember I played on that team, but really anytime I was at practice, I wasn't trying to beat my teammates. My teammates made me better, but I was more so trying to beat what I did yesterday. It's trying to beat my record in the 50-yard sprint, or push myself to do more push-ups than I did the day before, or do more crunches or squats, or score more goals than the day I did before. Competing against yourself is so important because it goes back to the self-belief that we talked about. You're not trying to compete on a team against other people. You're trying to compete to be the best version of yourself. Also, if you're talking about being your best self on the court, you're part of the team. It doesn't matter what profession you go into, whether you're being a mechanic or a doctor, you're working within a team setting. You're gonna have people that you need to communicate with, and having great communication skills is important. You need to be able to talk respectfully to other people. You have to be able to disagree, but in a respectful way. And you also have to be able to stand up for yourself and really present your ideas when you think something's not being right. It's not being done right. So we talked about being our best self on the court. And I want to take a moment to show you some of the Green Bay student athletes. And most of our student athletes, believe it or not, are from Wisconsin. So who knows, maybe down in the future, maybe look at UW Green Bay as your school. But we have Kamari McGee. He's on our men's basketball team, and he's a freshman out of Racine. Nate Jenkins out of Delafield, and Donovan Ivory, who's right down the road from Kaukauna. But we also have, what's pretty cool, international students that show the diversity of the teams that we work with. And we have a basketball player, we call him Tutu, as he prefers to be called, but his name is Athia Majok, and he's actually from Egypt. So, and that's all the way in Africa, as we know. And there are some other student athletes. On our women's basketball team, we have Jasmine King-Jakowitz out of Milwaukee, Brooklyn's out of Milwaukee, Savannah Hayes. Again, not everyone's from Wisconsin, but we attract people from all over the United States here at Green Bay. Savannah, she's out of California. Jordan's out of California. And Deja, she plays softball. Jeremiah, he's out of Wisconsin. He's a swimmer. He's on our swim and dive team. He swims the 50-yard freestyle, and he's really, really fast in the pool. Isis, she's out of Brazil. And Bernard, he's out of Minnesota, and he's a soccer player for us. And so these are some of the student athletes who every day show themselves to be the best self on the court. Each and every one of these individuals, I can tell you, are really, 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 really good individuals. But I wanted to show you them, to show you like, I heard basketball. We don't have football at Green Bay, but I heard basketball, but there are so many other avenues we can go into. It might not be softball, it could be baseball. I heard that too. But it could be swimming, it could be soccer. Isis plays volleyball for us there, but there are so many different things that you can do. But these student athletes really are examples of what it takes to be your best self on the court. So we talked about being on the court. What about being your best self off the court? These pictures show the same individuals that we saw. We saw Giannis, we saw Devontae, and we saw Lorenzo. And it's important to show this other side of it, right? Because we talk about being best self on the court, but Giannis does so much in the community. And it goes back to like, what's your reason for doing things? Is it just for the glitz and the glam of being a professional athlete? Or is it really to give back to your community, taking stances in social justice issues? On Giannis's shirt, it says, "I can't breathe." And we all are familiar with some of the social justice issues that we've experienced within our country, and even in our state recently that beg us to be a part of our community, give back, engage. Devontae Adams every year plays in a charity softball game with his teammate for Feeding America, using your platform, in whatever it is that you're doing, to give back to those that may be in need, and also engaging within your community. And then we see Lorenzo there. I think it's really important that we see see also athletes as being regular people. Lorenzo's there with his family, and they're in their matching PJs. And of course, he plays with the Milwaukee Brewers, but he's also a dad. His kids just know him as dad, And it's important that as you're on your journey to be your best selves on and off the court, that you don't forget to always be true to yourself. Okay. So here are some pointers of things that it takes to be your best self off the court. You'll see the overlap between being your best self on the court, because in order to be your best self off the court, you also have to stay present. You have to be there with your family. You have to be there with your community. You have to be there in whatever it is that you're doing as Devontae. Even though he's playing a softball game for charity, it's important that he's there and he's present and he's enjoying it. You have to do your best in school. You guys are in classrooms right now. You just have to do your best. I can't stress that enough. And it's not that you have to get 4.0s or straight A's. I'm not saying that, although it'd be great if all of you do that. But you have to try your best because that ties into everything that you do later on in life. Everything. Also, you have to be flexible. And I have a note to tell you a quick story here. I told you, I didn't tell you where I grew up. I grew up actually in Nassau, Bahamas. I was born there. I was raised there on an island called Nassau in the Bahamas. And I played soccer. And you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be a professional soccer athlete. Like I told you, I trained hard. I worked hard. I played in college. And then I got to college and I transferred to the University of South Florida. And the soccer coach in South Florida said, Jermaine, you're good, but you're not going to get off the bench. That was crushing. I mean, I in that moment, I was just really dejected, downhearted, saddened by it. But I had to change my approach to life. Okay, without college soccer, being a professional could still happen, but it would have been really hard. So if I wasn't going to play much in college, I had to change and be flexible to be my best self off the court. So what I did, I said, okay, well, if I'm not going to play, thank you for the opportunity, coach. And I wasn't upset. I really appreciated him being honest with me. Thank you for the opportunity. But I'm going to go ahead. And what I did, I actually got even more into my academics, and I ended up graduating college early so that it freed me up to then go on to pursue grad school and whatnot at an early stage. And then also in grad school, it helped me discover the career that I was in. I went on to be a graduate assistant in NCAA compliance at Barrett University, which is in Miami, Florida. And that led to a career that I hadn't even thought was possible. And that's working in college athletics. I didn't even know any concept of it. So being flexible and yes, like there might be some things where, you're thinking you're headed in one path and then something comes and cuts you off. And then you might have to pivot and go another path. It doesn't make that path any less valuable, because for me, I get so much value from doing the work that I do, working in college athletics and working with student athletes. It has given me the opportunity to do things like what I'm doing today, speaking with you all, So I had to be flexible, even though it seemed like my dreams and my goals about being a professional soccer player were cut off. I had to be flexible, and you have to be flexible as well. So push for your goals, but if there are things that pop up in your way, you may either have to go around those obstacles, or you may have to take a different path, and that's okay, as long as you're being your best self. Also, tying in with Lorenzo's picture here, it's important to keep good friends and family close. Those are the people that keep you grounded. So even when you become a professional athlete, or you become a great mechanic, or you become a teacher that's doing wonderful things, or doctor, or you become a carpenter that's doing great things, building great buildings or something like that, your friends and family, they're going to keep you grounded. They're going to know who you are. Keep them close and make sure that you do your part in giving back to the community that helped bring you to where you are. No one gets anywhere by themselves. there are people that always are going to be there to help you. So make sure that you also give back to them, that you pour into them or you pour into others. Like there are people that helped me get in this position that are mentors to me, that give me the opportunity to then speak to other folks and pour into them what I received from others. So it's okay to get a little bit of help on your way up there as you achieve success. Also, it's important that you understand who you are as a person. Really knowing who you are goes back a little bit to your mindset, but really understanding, hey, you know, yes, I'm a baseball player. Yes, I'm a football player, but that's not all who I am. You know, you might be someone who's really good in basketball, but you also might be really good in art. You might also be really good at computers. You might also be really good at social media marketing. All those things don't necessarily define you. You have to understand who you are as a person and keep hold of that. Because when people try to pull you and lead you straight into different things, you're like, yeah, no, that's not me. You know, so you want to just make sure that you track on that, okay? And that you keep who you are as a person in mind. And again, competing against yourself. I will tell you this time and time again, it's your race. It's no one else's. You have to make sure that you're competing against yourself, okay? Here are some other examples that we're gonna go through in terms of being your best self off the court, okay? We have some Green Bay student athletes, things that they get involved in. We have Taylor Reichow and Salvador Sierra. And what you may not know about them is that they're a part of the Army Reserves. So 1 week in a month, they're going off and training. And after graduation, they're going to join the Army and serve our country in the military. Blaton Williams, who's a basketball player, he did his part doing while we were in the pandemic, which is why we're meeting virtually, right? He's doing his part in the pandemic to spread awareness about COVID-19 and helping students wear their mask and whatnot, and slowing the spread of COVID-19. Our student athletes are getting actively engaged off the court. They're giving back to their communities. And then also our men's basketball, women's cross country, and softball student athletes, we tend to read, and you might have seen them in your respective schools. We do read to elementary school students virtually. We had to do it this year, but that's part of how we want to give back to our community and how they want to engage with the community. Other athletes, you know, I think you would recognize that guy. You might not be able to see him, but the guy sitting down in front of the computer, that's Bernard. I showed him on an earlier slide. He's a computer science major, and so that's him in class. That just goes to show the commitment in the classroom. I talked about how important in order to be your best self off the court, you have to do well in the classroom. That's the level of commitment that you need. Doing well in the classroom now, even though Bernard's a soccer player and he loves it, he's going to use his soccer skills to help him become a computer scientist and be a software engineer. And so Green Bay student athletes, for the fall semester, we had over a 3.0. Well, actually, we had a 3.4, and that's like the 44th semester of all our student athletes having over a 3.0. So it's really important that you pay attention in class and that you're really giving your best in class, because that's going to help you be your best off the court. And then some of the other community service events that we have, we collect sports apparel and equipment, and we donate that to the Boys and Girls Club of Green Bay. We have a book drive that we donate books to the Green Bay Public School System for distribution. We also are involved with Team Impact, which helps students who have chronic disabilities engage in athletics. We participate in the annual Green Bay Holiday Parade. You might have seen us out there if you took part in that, or if you were watching the parade. We also do Salvation Army bell ringing, and we're Angel Tree volunteers, where we go and get gifts for those less fortunate during the holidays, and we give them Christmas gifts. So those are the ways that our Green Bay student athletes have decided to be their best selves off the court. And I encourage you to look for ways in which that you can help your community as well in what that you do and all the things that you do. What are some of the small things that you can do to help give back? And that's a picture of everyone at the holiday parade this past, I think it was November. So what are some of the key takeaways here? Give your best in everything that you do. I can't say it, like give your best at school, on the court, cleaning at home, cooking, everything. If it's drawing, draw your best picture. If it's running, run your best race, okay? Just make sure that you're giving your best in everything. Explore your interests. Discover what makes you, you, okay? It goes back to when I said you have to know yourself. You know, basketball and football, I know those were shouted out so much in when I asked you guys to tell me some of your professions. Those are great. And I wish you all the best in making that successful, but also explore other interests. Do you like to read? Maybe you like to write. Maybe you like to take pictures and you're a good photographer. Maybe you're a good artist. Maybe you play an instrument really, really well and can start a band or be a band member. Explore interests, discover yourself, really understand who you are. Also, think about what motivates you. Why do you do what you want to do? Why do you want to be that professional football player? What's your motivation? Make sure that motivation also comes from you inside, not because you can get a bunch of money, but that you really love whatever it is that you're motivated to do. Whether it's be a teacher, make sure that motivation is, hey, you like educating students, or whether it is that you want to go into repairing cars, make sure that your motivation is that you just love automobiles. You know, that has to come from inside you. Don't worry about the external stuff. That comes if what you're being motivated by is internally and that you're willing to work hard. Be flexible. I told you my story. I was about to be a professional soccer player and coach said, yeah, I know you're not gonna get enough playing time for that. And I had to switch careers, but I've found so much satisfaction and happiness and joy in what it is that I do. Keep good friends and family close. Make sure that you don't push them away or forget them when you are successful. You know, not saying that you keep any and everyone close, because there might be some people, even though they're friends and family, that don't have your best interest. But the ones that do, the ones that really have your back, keep them close and give back or pour into others. Give, pay it forward. Take the knowledge that you received from people who mentored you and give that to others and share it amongst your friends. And also keeping a strong, positive mindset is so critical. It goes back to our first point of having that strong mind. Remember our activity with the T? Your strong mind, very few people can push your arms down. It's when we start to talk negatively to ourselves, our arms start to drop and our body feels it. Keep your mind strong, keep your body strong. And then the last point I want to leave you with, you gotta run your own race, stay focused. I mean, I don't know if you guys are into superheroes, but my favorite superhero is Batman. Yes, I still believe in superheroes and I absolutely love Batman. And in this picture, you'll see Superman, who's supposedly the fastest man, right? And you'll see the Flash, who's also a fast runner. And you'll see Batman lined up next to him. Superman and Flash are looking toward Batman like, what are you even doing here? You know that we're faster. But Batman's like, hey, this is my race. I'm running for myself. They probably can beat Batman, but Batman doesn't care. He's running for his own personal satisfaction. It's so important to run your own race. Be focused on yourself. Don't worry about what your friends may be doing or their successes or the successes that you see of someone else. Run your own race, okay? So that way that you're not letting jealousy or anything impede your success. That's going to be so important. And like I told you, I'm from the Bahamas, so I had to include this GIF in there. That's Shawnee Williams. She's a runner from the Bahamas and a two-time Olympic gold medalist. And in her first Olympic gold medal, she literally dove for the line against Allison Felix from the United States. Now, don't get me wrong. I want the United States to do well in the Olympics, but I was so proud of Shawnee. She ran her own race and she really wanted it. She went after it. So I want you guys to, when you're going on your path to success and whatever it is that you want to do, run your own race and really go after it. It might take diving for it, reaching for it, go after it, really, really give it your all and 100%. And I hope that you all get the success that you deserve. Okay. Here are some quotes. Think of it like this. You're at the start of something great. Don't let another person's progress discourage you. Okay. Going back to running your own race. Don't think of someone else's progress. Okay. You're at the beginning of your race. Okay. And it's going to end well. Don't let someone else's progress or make you jealous and keep you from achieving your success. And also, don't let people who are too weak to follow their dreams discourage you from pursuing yours. There are going to be people that are going to say, yeah, you know, I don't think you can achieve that. I don't think you could be a basketball player. I don't think you could be a football player. There are going to be people like that because they're not following their dreams. Keep your race in front of you. Be focused, stay present, work hard, sacrifice, do well in the classroom, and then you're going to be able to achieve your dreams regardless of what everyone else says. Keep your mindset strong so that when all that negativity and doubt starts to come in, like, I don't have time for that. I know where I'm headed, okay? I want to thank you all so much for listening and engaging. I know we had the activities. I thank you for the shout outs. And if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I really, really appreciated you all sitting there, engaging, letting me share with you today. It was such a pleasure to have you. Feel free to stop by one of GB's games. We're going into softball season now. Our basketball season is wrapping up. But yeah, continue to follow the University of Wisconsin Green Bay. And I just really appreciate having you all listen to me today and sharing with you all. And thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, Jermaine. If everybody can unmute and give some shout outs, that would be fantastic.
Great, give him a good All right. That's not appropriate.
Where's flowers? That is like.
Awesome. All right, I got a few pieces to give to you. So we know that it takes a village, and this is us, our Green Bay Area Public School System, UWGB, NWTC, trying to pour into you so that you can have the tools that you need in order to build your school career. We know that there's some barriers that sometimes present itself for people of color, and these are opportunities that these are tools that they're giving you to help try to avoid some of those things. And so UWGB sent over cookies for everyone because originally we were supposed to be on their campus. And therefore, since we had to pivot from COVID, they sent over cookies for us. So give them a shout out for that. And then there are t-shirts for the students and the chaperones as well. The t-shirts have A to Z words on the back if you want to spell your name out. There's some words that you know and some words that you might not know. However, it's about building your skills and having the tools. We want you, they talked about positivity and thinking about making sure that those things are in your head. And therefore, these words are positive words that can help describe you. So I do want to thank everyone for being here. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you.